that you say that the country's not corrupt. But what Owen Paterson did was a corrupt practice.
There was
Greetings, folks. So, it's been an insane week for UK politics, hasn't it? It really has been insane. Well, I say UK politics, I mean Tory party politics, really. Before I start my points of this video, I want to say a few things at the start. I love speaking to people that disagree with me in a healthy manner. I love having healthy debates about topics like socialist policies versus conservative policies, or the benefits of low tax versus high tax. You know, I love having conversations like this, and I'll always respect other people's views and have a healthy debate. But what I can't do, and I cannot entertain right now, is anyone that supports this government that we have in right now. The Johnson Mog government that we have right now. Because if you support this government, you support blatant corruption.
But what Owen Paterson did was a corrupt practice. It was lobbying ministers and officials on behalf of his paying clients. It's a corrupt practice. And the danger is that you've just tarred up, but by all of this, you've tarred the whole of the house with the same brush, and yourself, haven't you?
You support blatant lies.
Because there's a big spike in COVID in this country, and it's, you know, the record here is worse than it is elsewhere around Europe.
Well, I dispute that, but anyway, go on.
But the facts and the figures show it.
Again, I would dispute that.
Shall I read them?
You can read whatever you like, but
you support blatant greed.
Yeah. Now, you are the Mayor of London. I checked this morning. I believe your salary is just short of £140,000. You have a massive job. You've just told me how dizzyingly exciting and challenging it is. And yet, you have a contract with a national newspaper worth £250,000 a year.
Chicken fee, okay.
Chicken fee?
Now, listen, let's be.
Do you think most people in London would regard it as chicken fee, particularly at a time of economic recession?
You support obvious selfishness. Now, I don't care where you lie on the face mask debate, and, you know, we all do different things with face masks. I go into pubs without face masks, but I think what we can all agree on is, if you're in a hospital, wear a face mask. And especially if free nurses ask you to wear a face mask, wear a face mask. Also, I think we can all agree that if you're sitting next to a 95-year-old man, regardless of whether he's a national treasure of being David Attenborough, but if you're sitting next to a 95-year-old man, wear a face mask. Now, like I said at the beginning, all these other things you can debate. We can sit here and we can debate the benefits of low tax and high tax and socialism. But one thing we can't debate is Tory corruption, Tory lies. It's just fact. It's the same fact as the earth being round. Okay, it's the same fact as evolution and gravity. Yeah, the facts are there. So if you carry on supporting this government, you are supporting. A minute, I'm at my destination, so I'm going to pause there, and I'm going to. That guy just dragged me down, and come back with this in a second. All right, there we go. Just drop that one off. So the other things you can debate, but there is no debate now. I'm sorry, there just isn't. You cannot debate that this government is not corrupt, do not lie, are not greedy, and are not selfish, because the facts are there. And it's fine if you want to keep voting for them, keep supporting them, you know, for tax reasons or your house price or whatever else. That's fine. But you have to admit that you support corruption and you support lies. You can't do it any other way. Now, for me, Labour have got to come down hard on this. They have to come down hard on it. They have to show that they are not the same as these guys. They have to. And for me, the only way for them to do that is to say, if they get in power, they will stop MPs having second jobs. For me, that's the only way. They can say, oh, we'll put a limit on how many hours or stuff. No, as soon as they start going into that, that just shows everyone that 80 odd grand a year, yeah, which is about 4 grand a month, is not enough for MPs. When for everyone that lives in the normal world, is this guy walking in front? Of course he's going to walk in front of me. Of course. Why did I think anything else? But yeah, as soon as they start not going for the policy of not having second jobs as MPs, they're just showing to the normal people that live in the real world that 80 grand, 4 grand a month is not enough for MPs, and they have plenty of MPs in their party that do second jobs, and the argument's just thrown out. They need to get rid of it completely, and more importantly, they have to show that they're not the same as like this Tory prick MP here that's trying to defend second jobs.
I'm very cautious on this because I know that some of my colleagues have jobs and outside work that they do, and that means them having to give up changing their lifestyle.
Oh no, they've got to change their lifestyle.
We have to be careful about this. We have to realise that we're dealing with human beings who have families and responsibilities. So whilst, as I've said before, the first duty must be to Parliament.
The only duty is to Parliament. Not the first, the only duty.
The constituency and to the work we do for our country. Any changes, I think, should be evolutionary.
Labour need to do everything they can to convince the general public that they are nothing like this guy. And for me, as soon as they don't put forward a policy of no second jobs, they're fitting in with this guy. They're no different. And this guy is a disgrace. He talks about the poor MPs that might have to lack a little bit of money. And then a few weeks earlier, he's trying to defend the universal credit cuts. The same guy.
I think that this is a balance. It has to be judged very carefully. I think there are people that quite like getting the extra £20, but maybe they don't need it. So there needs to be
How do you know?
Proper, because people are all different in different circumstances.
This guy, maybe people don't need the £20 a week. Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe they can feed the kids, but they just won't put the heating on, so they'll shiver. He's an absolute disgrace, and I can't reiterate the point anymore. For me, I know what working class people think of Labour, and they need to get back to being on the ground and knowing what the real world is about. And as soon as they start defending shit like this and not categorically coming out and saying no, if you're an MP, you're an MP, that's your only job. If they do anything other than that, it's not good enough, and the normal working class people will know that, and they won't vote for him. They've got an opportunity here, a real big opportunity to really make a massive movement in people's opinions in the polls. But for me, they need to grab this, and they need to say no second jobs. But I know in my heart they won't do it, because so many of those Labour MPs have got exactly the same thing going on, and they got second jobs. Why is it acceptable in Parliament? It's not acceptable in any other area of life. If you work at Burger King full-time, your boss is not going to stand for you working full-time somewhere else on the other 12 hours of your day, because it'll affect your job at Burger King. No other industry will accept this, apart from Parliament, the people that are supposed to have one of the most important jobs in this country. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Do Labour have to categorically say that they're in favour of no second jobs for MPs, or can they just do a restriction on hours? What's your thoughts? Let me know. Till next time, take care.